Hi, I'm Dee.
And I'm FoxTime.
And we're here to talk about DC's newest entry, Suicide Squad.
Yeah!
All right, so this is the third film into the DC extended universe, and Fox, what did you think?
It was much better than Batman v Superman. Like, it's villains, and like, who doesn't like saying from the villain's perspective?
Yeah, it was a very good film. Again, great characterizations. Some of the acting in it was amazing. Margot Robbie, definitely the big standout of the film. I could totally see why her solo film is being greenlit and really looked into DC. She did an amazing job with this, as did most of the cast. I thought Will Smith did a good job as Deadshot. We had Jai Courtney, which I actually really like Jai Courtney in this. And I can't say that about all of his past films. Most of the other characters, again, were good. The big one with the Joker, I'm not totally sold with yet. We don't see, he's only in like maybe 5 minutes of the film.
Yeah.
Maybe 7.
Altogether.
Yeah, not.
He only has like 3 scenes.
Yeah.
Maybe 4.
He's not in this a whole lot, so we don't get to see too much of him. But from my perspective, I mean, we've had such big, especially after Heath Ledger's performance in The Dark Knight, you know, there's that expectation of the Joker really being a strong character, and Jared Leto definitely has the chops to do it. But I saw his Joker as less Joker and more of just kind of a crazy gangster. Again, not a whole lot with it, but I wasn't totally sold, and you do after a while forget about the tattoos and the grill and the teeth and everything. But still, while those characterizations make it interesting, there seems to be a big push on doing variations of the characters from DC without really bringing the actual characters to life. Like there was a scene that you didn't like that really threw you off. Why don't you tell them about that?
It was when Deadshot was taking his daughter out and then bringing her back home. And then Batman comes out of nowhere and like says, "I don't want to do this in front of your daughter." And then it got really confusing plus sad because, well, it's not Batman.
Yeah,
Batman doesn't do that.
And that's exactly one of the points here is the scene. Again, spoilers. When Batman confronts Deadshot with his daughter, and his daughter gets in the way of Deadshot shooting Batman, and Batman's just standing there. I mean, this seems very, very uncharacteristic of Batman. Maybe it's moving a bit more of the grittier, I don't know, less caring about violence or more caring about violence Batman that we saw in BVS. But it's little things like that did seem to really separate from the expectations, I think, of what the audience wants to see in these characters versus what DC is trying to do. But overall, like I said, it's a good story. It's really a lot about what you would do for love. You have Deadshot's whole bit with his daughter. You have Joker going after Harley Quinn. You have Diablo, who had one of the best character arcs, I think, in the whole film. You know, really being the person who has seen what his abilities can do and the damage they have, and is really trying to not be that person anymore and really be someone else, and gets sucked back into the squad to kind of help out. I think, again, he had really the best character arc over everyone. With Deadshot, it's a standard kind of bad guy with a heart of gold, wants to do good to help his daughter. But like I said, Harley was amazing. And the one thing I did like in the film is the bad guys aren't just in this just to do it. They are constantly scheming and talking amongst themselves about how do we escape, how do we get out of here, how do we do this. So it's not like they just jump right in and accept everything that's going on.
They technically have no choice.
Well, and that was the thing with Slipknot. That was... we get backstories off of pretty much everyone. The one person you don't get is Slipknot, and you can tell from the get-go that he is there just to give the example of what you do if you disobey Amanda or if you try to escape, with the the boom and the explosive neck bombs. That's his whole purpose. He's not in it for that long. You don't get any backstory. The downside is that when he dies, you don't care. You don't care at all.
Except for one scene when they're going up. You could have just strapped them all in and just went, okay, we're on the floor, break the window, let's go. No, they had to go take the elevator, then take stairs, and then go up, and then took much longer than it should have.
Though I think the real difficulty with this film is, again, while it's good, grabbing that hero, the comic book feel of it, didn't really work. I mean, even while the squad is going through Midwest City and they're seeing the destruction that was caused by Enchantress and her brother, there's no question of like, what's going on here? What is this weird black gooey stuff that's spread over everything? There's not that much of a question. And even with the danger that's going on, the squad itself seems very ill prepared. They're mostly, again, variations of punching and shooting going against a spellcaster. And while Enchantress was good for the most part, there were a few things. One, the whole dancing bit while building her giant machine just seemed weird. And even the whole machine bit is basically a MacGuffin. It's, oh my god, this is a big scary thing. We don't know why she's building. We don't know why she calls it a machine, if she's using magic for it. We don't really feel that depth of threat. It's just these guys are grabbed and kind of thrown into things. And while there's sort of an interesting a story going on with that of not really knowing and trying to find out. Like I said before, they don't really ask too many questions of what they're up against. And it seems they're going in to stop Enchantress, and then they get sidetracked and do the whole let's rescue Amanda Waller. And then they seem surprised that they have to go back and finish off what the mission. So some of the direction was a little unclear. But overall, much better than BVS, a much more consistent storyline. I mean, even with its ups and downs and kind of variations, it did have a story that it was telling beginning to end and moved in through that. So overall, I think a good success, a good step in, but not the real knock out of the park that I think we were feeling. And certainly not the same emotion or tone that we were getting from any of the previews. Really kind of a different film from that.
Yeah, one of my favorite was the Boomerang guy. I always forget their names, but he has a pink unicorn. It's like, oh, my pink unicorn.
Yes, the bit I said, Jai Courtney's Boomerang, I think this is one of the best things that I have seen him in, and I am honestly looking forward to seeing more of this character. Yeah, really good job, really fun stuff. As I said, directions, it's uneven, it's up and down, there's good points and bad parts, a lot of stuff that doesn't make sense. Batman's characterization doesn't make, there's even a mid-credits scene that has Batman and Amanda Waller, and but I just have to ask, does everybody know everybody else's secret identity? That's the question I had from BVS, and it kind of carries on through this. Everyone seems to know who everybody else is. And for, superheroes with guarded secret identities, it didn't really hit right. But that's it. Any other last things you want to throw out there?
Nah.
No? Okay.
Just thinking.
Well, that's it. You guys should go see it. Check out the film. It is definitely worth watching.
Giraffe.
Bring your pink stuffed unicorn. And that's it. I'm D.
I'm FoxTime.
And we will catch you guys next time. Take it easy. Bye.